everyone. Welcome back to Sweet with a Twist podcast. I am your host, Skylar. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of season 2. I'm so excited. So, last week we talked about friendships, and I wanted to go more in depth about the different types of friendships that you make throughout your life. So I guess I can do that now with the actual episode today is going to be about friendships between men and women. I know it's a very controversial kind of topic that never seems to go away. I don't think it ever will. So I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to also say thank you guys for so much support and love that you have shown me. I know it's been a journey. I know it's been a little minute since I had picked up a camera and did a YouTube video and the podcast episode. But like I said, this is season 2, baby. Okay, part 2. Part 2. It's a different time. It's a different mindset right now. And break down the different type of friendships. I'm only going to probably touch on like 3 because I want to make this episode about the friendship between a man and a woman. But the first one I want to talk about is the friendships that you make in elementary or like while you're still a little kid, while they're still a little kid, and then that you were blessed enough to have, throughout your whole entire life while growing up. So like if you're still best friends with elementary, that's such a blessing. And I think those types of friendships are really not even friendships, like you're literally family. Like you're so much family. You know the whole what was the show from Disney where Liv and Maddie, where they were twin sisters and their saying was sisters by chance, friends by choice, I think. Um Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. It wasn't that they're saying though, and I think that that is such a blessing because if you can find a sister or a brother in someone else that is nowhere near blood related to you, that's a different type of bond, I think. I think it's a different type of bond. And like I said, it's not even your friend anymore. Like this is literally your family. Because not a lot of people can say that they are still best friends with someone, since they were 6 years old. I know I can no longer say that. I used to be able to say that because, as I mentioned in my last episode, I did have a guy best friend that literally we grew up together and then we graduated high school together. Mind you, we went to the same schools. Everything, we went to the same school. And then it kind of stopped and fell off after like 2021. So it kind of sucks because literally we were in so many things together. We grew up together. We saw each other literally grow up before each other's eyes. And it's just crazy to think like that's no longer a thing. Um my childhood girl best friend growing up actually moved away by the time we got into, was it middle school? I think she went to a different middle school, but by the time we got into high school, that's when, yeah, it was middle school. It was before middle school. She actually moved. And that was like my childhood best friend. Before I met my next best friend in middle school. So it kind of sucked that I didn't get to have really a literal, since we were like 5 years old, childhood girl best friend to grow up with me through the whole thing. Um, but that's a different story. Technically, both be freshmen in high school. She actually this is gonna sound weird. She actually emailed me, guys. I didn't know who this was. I was like, who is emailing me? Like the school emails that you get? Yeah. She emailed and I wish I had the emails. I don't know if I can even dig those up, but she was like, hi, Skylar. And she like told me um had I think she said she was trying to find me. She's been trying to find me and she found me. She said, I couldn't believe it was you, like all this, stuff. And I was still in shock. I said, this was my childhood best friend when I was in elementary. Like, what is going on? Like, I have a whole picture when we were little girls and my mom was between both of us and we were both like the flashbacks were just crazy. I was so in shock. I responded to her and I don't even remember what was after that, but I think we kind of were talking and like catching up. And then I never heard from her again. So, yeah, because I think she said she was at some high school. And I told her, yeah, I was, at this high school and everything like that. But it was just a so surreal moment. And if you have a friend still like that, my God. The next type of friendship, like I said, that you make at different times and different stages, I think will be middle school, and how middle school is such a crucial part of growing up. Like, it's so crazy. This is when puberty for most kids around this time it starts kind of happening, right? And middle school is just kind of an awkward stage and phase in life that we all got to go through. um I made my, like I said, I guess you could say like the best friend that I grew up with through high school. This is when I met her in middle school. And I don't know how we really met. I think that's normal when it comes to like best friends or even really close friendships. You don't even remember how you met anymore. I want to say it was between through like a friend that I had made. And then later on, I found out that it was also her friend. And then we kind of met each other. And then we just took off and became best friends. I think it was something like that. Middle school, like I said, it's kind of the awkward phase. So you making best friends then, I think, or like friends that turn into best friends is kind of like not important, but I think it makes your middle school experience a little bit better to know that you have a close friend. So we took off from there, went through high school together, graduated. Now we're in college. I went my separate way the first, after right out of high school, I, went to a university. So I went away. She stayed here at home. And, that was kind of that. Then I came back and COVID hit. And then we got to kind of hang out with each other like the first time in like a year. I think it was at the end of 2021 after COVID, and kind of went from there. So, sorry about that cut off. It said iPhone storage was full. That's the first time that has happened to me since the last iPhone, which was my 8 Plus I had. So, yeah, that's telling. But people that you're going to go into high school with, um, and hopefully go through high school with, is a blessing. So then let's get to the high school best friends. High school. Hi guys. This is, I think, like a week later. I filmed the first part of that podcast last week, and that was due to storage on my phone being full, but I emptied it out. So anyway, I got a new one. Anyway, we're back. That's a different story. But we're back. I didn't feel like going all the way back there, and there's your seat right here. Let's go ahead and do that. I didn't feel like moving back there, but I just wanted to pick up where I left off. Okay. But today's podcast is about guys and girls, right? Being friends. Okay. So, I don't even remember what I left off saying last week, but basically, it's a kind of like a debate all the time when it comes to these types of friendships, which I see why. I think I see why. Especially if you are in a relationship, it can get a little, you know. I asked, I think, a few of my guy friends, like, what do they think about their girlfriend having guy friends? Basically, the whole majority said, like, no. One guy that I kind of like talked to, he said it depends. At first, when I first asked him, like a year or so ago, he said, no, that won't work. Then he recently said it depends. So I know for me, and I think most girls, we always think that the guy is saying, no, you can't have guy friends because they don't trust us. But I have seen a bunch of TikToks recently, and guys themselves, like, say it's not about them not trusting. Ooh, my bad. It's not about them not trusting their girlfriend or trusting us girls. It's about they don't trust guys because, right, they're guys themselves, so like they know how guys think. And I get that. I think I get it. No, I get it. It's just that I'm a friendly person, so not like friendly in a way like, I'm like flirty, not that, but a lot of guys have actually perceived my friendliness as I am flirting with them, and it's like, no, honey, I'm not. Mind you, I don't even know how to flirt. Like, I truly don't. I feel that if I'm comfortable with you, I think sometimes I notice that I am flirting, but I really am like making jokes. That's just what I do. Up online, like, is it possible? And they said it's possible if they respect boundaries of true platonic friendship. So, however, it can be challenged by the physical attraction that the man feels for the woman. Mind you, it says that the man feels for the woman, not for the woman feeling for man. I feel like when it is a girl that likes their guy friend, it's different. It doesn't really happen all the time. Um, but most of the time it's the male liking his friends that are girls. And it's just like, personally for me, I don't I don't think I have that issue. So I mean, I've had a few situations where that's happened, but yeah, and we're like no longer friends. So um this type of friendship requires honest understanding, impulse control, and reality testing. So I agree with that. Like, if you do feel something for your friend that's a girl, if you're a guy, like, just be upfront. And I know for us girls, we really do like mean it when we say like you're a friend, and we enjoy that bond. Um, so when you're doing like when a guy's that's your friend is doing extra things that are basically aligned with almost being like your boyfriend, I feel that girls don't really notice that. Like if it's happening to me, I'm probably not going to notice, but if my friend who is a girl like says, "Yo, I think he likes you more than a friend," I feel like people outside will notice maybe, but not you. So, be honest. It's that impulse control. Like, I guess, just control your, I guess, your urges. I don't know. Like, just control that. And then reality testing, whatever that is. So WikiHow says yes, men and women can be friends. And here are two of the challenges that I wrote down from there: jealousy from significant others, and then like sexual tension between them. Um, Significant others, that's huge. Both of those actually are huge reasons why a lot of friendships between guys and girls, I think, fall apart, and why relationships, like romantic relationships, fall apart as well. um I really just, it is about boundaries, but I get if like he keeps like, and then you're gonna have to put your foot down and say, hey, like, no. And if you keep doing that, like, especially if you're in a relationship, like, you gotta make sure boundaries are kept. My gosh. But if a person who really truly cared about you keeps pushing those boundaries, then that is not acceptable. Like, they keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Not acceptable. I just think that it is possible. Like, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, no, it's not. I truly believe that men and women can be platonic. There's no doubt about it. I personally think that. And I think I will always think that. Now, if someone asks me, has that necessarily happened to me where all my friendships with guys were platonic? Mm, uh, but I guess I could say that every guy that I made friends with, I think always had to mention something about my like appearance, my body, my whatever. It because they're guys, that won't fail to happen. Let's just be real. Because they're guys, that won't fail to be said, like, oh yeah, I think that she's, attractive. Like, oh, Skylar has a nice body, or yeah, I think Skylar's hot or pretty. Like, a guy will not fail to honestly say something like that about their female friends. Now, if they, keep making those, or like it feels like they want to be, more than friends with the girl, then that's definitely going to be heightened more. And they will also, I feel, basically get jealous or like annoyed that other guys would be trying to talk to that their girlfriend, um because they truly do like their girlfriend. And it's just like, um I don't know, I've never experienced a guy being like jealous of other guys. um Guys I've talked to, guys that I've messed with, I've never, or a guy that's my friend, I've never really had that experience of them being jealous of other guys. I don't even be thinking about that stuff. Like, I be in my own world, having fun, trying to live the life that I, you know, have right now. Because you don't know when, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. Now, the last thing I do want to say is I did see a whole. This is what threw me off. I saw a whole bunch of TikToks about how guys pick girls to be friends with if they're attractive. I was like, ain't no way, you're lying. I really was like, they're lying. But no, even guys have said guys do that. So, that's great. So, it's like, so did you become my friend because like I'm cool, or was it because you kind of find me attractive? Like, that's weird. Uh, like, the underlying reason is weird. So, I don't know, if you're a guy, please comment. Please let me know, because I don't I don't like that. Like, I'm not picking guys to be friends with as long as they're attractive. Like, what the freak is that? But I think it's possible, and you should too. Like, I just have an open mind, and okay, if it happens a few times, whatever. But I genuinely think that it can happen, and it can stay. I think it can last too. Oh man, that's crazy. But I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Like I said, please let me know your thoughts on guys and girls being friends. And do you think it's possible? Do you think that having a guy friend, your girlfriend having a guy friend or guy friends in a relationship, is that like, what are your thoughts on that? But I will see you guys in my next podcast. Hope you enjoyed this episode. This is episode 2 of season 2. And I can't wait for you guys to hear what I have in store. I love you guys.